So I'd like to welcome you back once more to Cincinnati Red Baseball. We are following an absolute thriller of a game that just took place between these clubs. It was a back and forth game. The Reds with a 2-run homer to extend the game in the ninth with Logan Morrison going deep.
Let's go to your room. Let's go, baby. Come on. Let's go.
It's like Hicks might get the start today. And they're going to give Hicks a nod over Rosario today. It's good to see. And I think same goes for Alonso. It's pretty surprising to see that move, but I think that it's just one too many games that he's just not where he needs to be. And we're off, folks, for game number two of this 4-game series. Today we got Clayton Kershaw against Mike Soroka. Kershaw with 11 wins and 5 losses was a 3.03 ERA. Soroka, much better ERA by way of 2.18, striking out 97, only walking 8. Kershaw with 20 walks on the season. Well, welcome everyone back to Miami, Florida for Game 2 of 4 between the Cincinnati Reds and the Miami Marlins. The Marlins had an opportunity to win the game in the ninth yesterday, but they gave up a 2-run shot into center field. They followed that up with a home run of their own following that inning, but ultimately lost the game in the 12th inning, 5-4. Fans are settling into their seats nicely. This game has a lot of bad blood between both ball clubs. It's been at the center of recent controversy in the league.
Miami Marlins.
The Marlins take the lead, playing in their aquas from yesteryears as they tip their caps to the teams of yesteryears. Ongoing theme around Major League Baseball. As mentioned before, Mike Soroka takes the mound for the Marlins. His K per 9 ratio 7.30. Wants to work on that, though he is happy with keeping opponent batting to just the 201 mark. For the Cincinnati Reds, we have D. Gordon, one of the league leaders with 364, followed by Justin Upton, J.D. Martinez, Guerrero with the cleanup. Trey Turner in shortstop batting 5th. Aaron Hicks in center field. Following him, Logan Morrison, Cervelli, and again the pitcher, Kershaw. Just about getting ready to start here. Miami Marlins looking to snap out of a what will now be a 9th game in a row if they were to lose this one, but so far embroiled in an 8-game season worst losing streak. Francisco Lindor would love to have something to do about that. He says the guys are not panicking. We're not going to press. We're going to stay professionals and just get that first one. So now batting, D. Gordon batting 364, a home run, 33 RBIs, and 90. That's correct, 90 stolen bases here as we're a little bit past the halfway mark in the 2020 campaign. First pitch, taken outside, a 2-seamer for ball 1. Soroka had a lot of success against D. Gordon when they met in Cincinnati. And D. Gordon gets one, might be able to sneak this past the second baseman, but Byers there in plenty of time for out number 1.
In the second spot tonight.
Well, Justin Upton reclaiming his spot in the lineup. Looks a lot more comfortable. I was talking to manager Salas, and he was just describing how confident he looks, not just during BP, but with the guys in the ball club. Got 1 ball and no strike. And gets a hold of one a little bit late. A little bit early on that one, and got a 1 ball, 1 strike count. And takes a low 4-seamer for strike 2. And Justin Upton gets base hit into right field. He's definitely looking for that slider around the bottom part of the strike zone. You know this because you don't extend your hands that far unless you're looking for something outside to hit to the opposite field. Next up is J.D. Martinez. And Martinez takes a fastball low for ball one. Another fastball inside, nowhere near the plate, so JD not having to work too hard to give up on those. And a line drive to third base, almost too fast for me to even talk about, but Arenado, a beautiful play starting the inning-ending double play. So the Marlins looking to Ian Happ here as we start the first. The bottom of the first for the Marlins, looking for somebody to start getting them back on track. Easily one of the better teams in the majors. A lot of people would call into question some of their out-of-game tactics. Always looking for that competitive edge. A lot of teams, reporters and whatnot, fans alike, likening them to the Oakland Raiders of the National Football League. And Marlins having a lot of patience with Clayton here. Clayton got the better of them not too long ago. And this is a fly ball to the left side. Vladimir in for the second out.
Batting second, the shortstop.
So Francisco Lindor with 44 stolen bases. Definitely feeling good around the track. And he loves that he can still contribute in that aspect of the game for the ball club. Fly ball to the right side. JD's going to have to rush a little bit, but no problem as he puts it away for out number 2.
Batting third, second baseman.
So yesterday after the game, it was quite noteworthy that you saw a lot of the players from these ball clubs sort of huddling together, getting some conversations out of the way. Could also, lead to some improvements as we get past some of these recent events. But a lot of the players, they're always really quick to let each other know that they understand what can sometimes happen between clubs, between managements. Try and keep the actual play between the clubs as a fly ball into right field as amicable as possible. And JD with the third out of the inning, and Cincinnati Reds hold off the Marlins here in the bottom of the first for a 0-0 tie. Vladimir Guerrero now up to bat.
Third baseman, Vladimir Guerrero.
And Guerrero takes an inside four-seamer for strike one. And an inside fastball, no chance for that one. Guerrero gets out of the way. And a bit late on the two-seamer, so we have a 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a nasty curveball on the outside. Soroka's got to feel good about having that this early in the game. Guerrero takes a seat, strikes out for out number 1. And Turner with a fly ball. It's high enough for the right fielder to get under it for the second out of the inning.
Batting sixth,
Alvarez.
center fielder number 33, Aaron Hicks.
And Hicks looking to get on base. Able to make the lineup today. He's looking for some more playing time, as the Reds have just an absolute plethora of talented young outfielders at their disposal, and this ball is not gone to by Juan Soto. These are the ones that you want to make them pay for. I mean, the Marlins should be out of the inning. And this is a deep shot to right field, playable. Hicks flies out. It's like Soto's bailed out for this inning, and the Marlins get out of the top of the second. Still 0-0 here in sunny South Florida.
For the Marlins, left fielder Juan Soto.
And Soto, a foul ball to the left side. And a curveball is left in the middle of the strike zone. Soto pops it up to right field. Easy play for JD for out number 1. Arenado up to bat for the Florida Marlins. And he swings away and gets a piece of the changeup for strike 1. Looks like Cincinnati Reds have plenty of off-speed stuff that Kershaw, manager Salas, is opting to go with. Usually he does a lot of good things for the fastball moving later in the games. We'll see how that goes. And this ball is a changeup on the outside. I think Arenado is just looking for that fastball. And let's see what he gets. And he gets a curveball by Kershaw. Fouls it back for 1 ball, 2 strike count. And this is easy play for D. Gordon. Has a great range out there. Arenado dives head first for no reason for out number 2.
Right fielder Jordan Alvarez.
Jordan Alvarez coming in from the left side of the at bat, swings away at a slider for strike 1. Looks like Kershaw's got all his stuff working nice, and this is a deep shot to right field. He's going to swing back around to the fans there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. And Kershaw the pitch. And this is also fouled back. Count remains 0-2. And this ball had a chance of just being an absolute merciless call on the high side of the strike zone, but the umpire says no. And just gets a piece of that changeup. Alvarez stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a strike 3 swing. It's a slider that got him. Alvarez takes a bow almost in submission, disbelief. And it's still a scoreless ball game going into the 3rd. Logan Morrison, hero of yesterday's game, his 2-run shot. Absolutely couldn't have come a better timing for that. I'm sure Soraka would like to deal with him pretty efficiently here. Morrison used to play a lot of games here. He's familiar with the backdrop. Feels very comfortable. Just happy to get the opportunity yesterday. 1 ball, 1 strike. And another shot into right field. This has a chance of dropping, but no. Beautifully played by Alvarez in right field for out number 1. Francisco Cervelli had a crucial hit in yesterday's game as well. Right past Arenado. Don't see that too often. And this could have a shot at staying fair. It was a little too much of a curve on it. So we got no balls and 2 strikes to Cervelli. And takes a curveball outside from Soroka. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And did he hold back? They said he didn't. Cervelli is stunned. He takes a step. Kershaw excited about batting in today's game. Some reason. Reds pitching has done a more than decent job against Marlins pitching for base hits in these 2 series. You can see the Marlins pitchers are taking the the Reds pitcher seriously. Might be throwing too hard. And a swing and a miss by Kershaw. I think this is the right approach when it comes to Kershaw. Just throw him the soft stuff, and he's able to hold back there. Good job by Kershaw getting at least 4 or 5 pitches out of the pitcher here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Able to hold back on that one. Works a full count. Probably a changeup coming up. And he fouls one back. It's just a thorn in Soroka's finger right now. Not able to get him out. And a ball inside. Kershaw not only gets a whole bunch of pitches, but gets first base as well. Next up is D. Gordon.
D. Gordon.
And a fastball taken down low for a ball. Soroka, some would say playing with fire here. Up to 35 pitches after this one. And D. Gordon takes a changeup inside. Vulnerable on the inside. I think we all know that. But also, he likes a lot of inside heat, so got to watch out for that. No, did he hold back? And he did. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. And I think exactly what Soroka's going to go for here is probably the inside changeup. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. And it's not, but it's we'll have a chance. If he goes to first, it's going to be a close play. But Lindor with a good arm gets it to first base for the 3rd out. So D. Gordon did his part, but not able to come through there for the Cincinnati Reds. And it is still a scoreless game here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Leading off for the Marlins, first baseman, Marwin Gonzalez.
Former Red, Marwin Gonzalez, up to bat, and he chops it back in the Cincinnati direction. And I don't know if you can throw a better slider than that. But the blue says, nope, no good. You got 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, and this potentially could have been an easy out. But looks like some interference by Kershaw sticking his hand out. And either way, it's a base hit. So the Marlins have someone on base here with no outs. And a strike, 4-seamer. Almost looked more inside than the previous pitch. And a changeup, deceptive, down low for strike 2. And very hard to lay off that one. Full count, even count now at 2-2. A slider ripped foul to the right side. Got 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count now. Kershaw in the first time he's been in a little bit of trouble. And foul back. Could have been ball 4. We'll do it again. And another curveball. Foul back. And taken on the outside for a slider. Kelly can't believe it. Most of these fans can't believe it, but it is called a strike 3. And Kershaw able to find a little relief here as he squares up against the opponent pitching. And this umpire is just, where is he looking? That is a good-looking pitch on both those, and really making Kershaw work here. And calls that a strike. Not very consistent here. And Kershaw has a full count against the pitching. And this is blooper to second. Gordon, no problem. And we quickly here have 2 outs.
Ian Happ.
Kershaw trying to tempt righties and squeeze in lefties. Looks like he's having some measure of success to both, as Happ takes a curveball. I mean, that ball is only in the strike zone for the end of his life. Another four-seamer, this time catching the outside corner for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Happ, I'm surprised if they call it here. He barely took the ball off his shoulder. We got an even count at 2-2. And another full count. Kershaw up to 45 pitches. And Happ is able to work a walk here. Francisco Lindor in for a big spot here.
Francisco Lindor.
And this potentially could be a game-scoring play. It looks like a throw is offline, and the Marlins are on the ball. Seeing the ball went a little bit to the right, and the Marlins are on the scorecard first, 1-0. And Kershaw's got to really settle down here and not let this inning turn into more of a problem. And I know that Kershaw's got those pitches that he did not get right on the front of his mind. I can just see it in his body language right now. He's not happy. He wants the umpire to know. And should be out of the inning, but that's called baseball, and you have to deal with those adversities by doing just that. And so the Marlins get on the scoreboard 1-0. I have not had any problems taking the lead in these games as of late. Is holding on to them has been more of the challenge.
Justin Upton.
And Upton swings at a changeup. He's trying to absolutely rip the cover off the ball, but his timing not letting him do that. Strike 1. And takes a changeup inside. Should have been a strike. Soroka also unhappy with umpires' calls today. And a changeup inside. Looks like Soroka has got Upton here fit for the killing. His timing is just really off. So Upton guessing right. And a fly ball to right field. This has a chance of dropping, but Alvarez, with a decent amount of speed, able to get under it for out number 1. So JD Martinez, he of the .330 batting average, having a terrific season. Again, wants to shake off that reputation he's built for himself this year of double play man. But honestly, it's just the strangest thing, for a solid contact hitter that JD is, to be involved in so many of those. It's just a lot of it's luck, a lot of it's timing, a lot of it's just having to be more aware of the moment. And another ball inside, so work this count to 3-0. Doesn't appear the Marlins want anything to do with JD Martinez. And Martinez shot right to Lindor. Lindor had to cup it as best he could, able to keep it in front of him. Throws it at first for the second out. So Vladimir Guerrero now going to try and keep this inning alive. He's able to hold back on that changeup for 1 ball, no strikes. Oh, and I don't think he meant to do that, so that's kind of a wasted pitch. And Guerrero lines one into right field. Is able to keep this inning alive, and it's always a interesting thing here because the Reds are definitely a 2-out hitting ball club. Justin Turner looking to keep things going himself, and a quick throw to first from Baez gets the Reds out of the inning, and the Marlins hold on to that lead 1-0 with Juan Soto coming up to bat the bottom of the 4th.
Left fielder Juan Soto.
And this is a play that Upton's going to have to come in running in, and he does. Does a good job for out number 1.
Third baseman Nolan Arenado.
So Nolan Arenado coming up to bat, trying to do his part. Just had horrible numbers against his former ball club. And now he swings away. Just seems to be always on top or behind pitches. This could be bad news for the Reds here. Oh, but again, that time he was a little bit on top of it and early. And a changeup, could have had him there. But as we said before, the umpire is doing Kershaw no favors. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this is a shot right to Vladimir Guerrero. 1 third baseman flies out to another.
Jordan Alvarez.
And so Jordan Alvarez now with a shot to third base. Guerrero, quick with the leather, throws it out to first for out number 3. And so after 4, the Marlins continue their 1-0 lead over the Cincinnati Reds.
Leading off for Cincinnati, center fielder number 33, Aaron Hicks.
0-1's the count. One ball, 1 strike.
Inside, Hicks able to hold back. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Hicks to the left side. This is going to be in the air long enough for Soto with plenty of speed to get under it for
first baseman number 99.
Out number 1
Morrison.
Of the game. And unable to hold off to that changeup for strike 1. I don't think he wants to do anything inside with Logan, as seen by that last pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I was talking to manager Salas, and he was very happy with the win yesterday. Ecstatic, actually. I was talking to his club, and what's going on. He's saying he loves the way they are. He loves the excitement. He loves how spontaneous everything is and feels. But he was also speaking as Morrison gets to right side. Oh, wow. And Marwin with a great speed gets him out for out number 2. So he was saying he wants the same amount of concentration and focus that the Reds have been showing in the 9th inning, in the extra innings. He wants that in the first inning. He wants it in the 2nd inning, and you can't blame him. God knows his guys are trying, but as has been the case, that the Reds look like they just kind of coast through until the later innings. And midway through 5, it's still 1-0 here. Marlins here in beautiful South Florida.
Leading off for the Marlins,
Marwin Gonzalez looking to give it back to his old team. Changeup's been all sorts of troubles for Marlins hitters all day today. And I think that there's a line drive. Upton made that look interesting, but able to get there. I think the thing is that Kershaw's curveball and changeup are so similar in the way he throws it. It's really a difference in speed. It's hard to gauge. As you can see, the guys are just kind of trying to make contact. That was more of a check swing there for Kelly, but he's able to pop that out. And just like that, you know, not to take anything away from Soroka, but with him up to bat with 2 outs, bit of a wasted inning, you could call it. With a 1-0 lead, you're not in the most trouble, but we've seen that it appears that the Marlins are going to have a significant lead going into the end of this game if their fans are going to have any kind of insurance. As Kershaw, outside curveball, Soroka can't believe it, but as it is, the Marlins get out of the inning without scoring a run, and next up to bat is Curtin Clayshaw.
Catcher, Clayton Kershaw.
And he takes four-seamer. Looked good to me, but not to the umpire. That's really the one that matters, so 1 ball, no strike. And Kershaw pops one up to the left side. This is going to be in the stands. Even up the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch outside. Kershaw knows that he hasn't been getting that call, so easy to lay off that one. The pitch. Ooh, and Kershaw wishes he can have that one back. 1 ball and 2 balls and 2 strikes. And outside, Kershaw was able to work out a walk last inning. It'll be interesting to see what goes on here. And Kershaw, a fast line drive, ground ball to third base. Arenado able to collect himself. Was exciting off the bat, but Kershaw grounds out for out number 1. D. Gordon 0 for 2 today. Would really like to get into the hit column. Takes the first pitch, a 2-seamer outside for ball number 1. And D gets a hold of one, rips it right up the middle, base hit. Again, not the guy the Marlins won on base. So you can rest assured they'll be paying plenty of attention to him over at first. D's been stealing at will against the Marlins now. And an inside fastball called for a strike. D. Gordon taking off. That looked like a fastball. He might be on time, and he is. And just as predicted, D. Gordon takes off. And now the Reds have someone in scoring position. And Upton able to hold off of that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Upton shows bunt, but definitely does not. Works the count to 3-1. And Upton down the right field into the corner. And once again, Justin Upton with a very timely RBI ties up the ball game. Gordon with all his speed able to get home quite comfortably. Reds tie up the ball game 1-1. And a screaming ground ball into left field by J.D. Martinez, and the Reds, when they come at you in clusters, as you can see. And the hitting bug has caught here in South Florida for the Cincinnati Reds. Now up is Vladimir Guerrero. Guerrero very good about being patient in these spots. Very good about it. Takes a 2-seamer inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Marlins looking to get themselves into a better spot here. Already giving up the tying run on a RBI single from Justin Upton. And Sakura looking the runners back. Would be a good time for a double steal We'll have to keep an eye on that. And an inside fastball again for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. So Soroka's mind is in 3 different places right now. And I think that's part of the problem. And Guerrero flies out to right field. This could be, no. Nice try by the right fielder, but he had no chance. Really didn't need to dive for that one. And an outside fastball. Now has a 3-1 count. Soroka might just want nothing to do with Guerrero. And curveball able to move that bat just across the middle. We got a full count. And Guerrero pops one up to right. This looks like an easy catch, and it is. And after tying the game, the Reds find themselves here with 2 outs. The Marlins primed to steal back the momentum. It's going to be all up to Trey Turner. And Trey takes a 4-seamer inside corner for strike 1. He didn't like that call. And next one is too high. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's been a while since we've seen an extra base hit from Trey. Would be a good time. And slow, easy play for Baez. Slow, almost looked like a line drive, but just able to get the play, and the Marlins get out. We got a brand new ball game, 1-1 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Center fielder.
So Ian Happ, known to be a bit of a spark plug for the Marlins, and flies out to right field on the first pitch. JD able to catch it for out number 1. So as we were talking earlier, a lot of the way between the way the changeup and the curveball look from home plate to batters, really a amazing difference. Only notably noticed by left-handers against Kershaw, as he gives up a base hit to Lindor here. It looks like the Reds aren't going to wait too much longer to start warming up their bullpen. And takes a strike 1. And quickly now an 0-2 count. And almost gets a call on the outside, but it's 1 ball and 2 strike. There's a 2 ball and 2 strikes. And an inside nasty curveball just drops down right at the last moment and gets Baez for out number 2.
Left fielder, Juan Soto.
And Soto takes an outside 4-seamer for ball 1. Really could have been called either way. And a curveball is just absolutely on for Kershaw today. As the ball is now 1 ball. The count's 1 ball and 1 strike. And another curveball is just absolutely unhittable today for the Florida Marlins. And another one just absolutely drops it in there. And Kershaw is looking super, super good here. And we have a 1-1 ball game heading into the 6th inning. Into the 7th, excuse me.
Leading off for Cincinnati, center fielder number 33, Aaron Hicks.
And Hicks also does the same thing as we saw last inning, just really a wasted at bat, just kind of checked himself into trouble. Logan would do himself as well as the ball club, and that curveball is just absolutely a crap call. That is not even nowhere near the strike zone. Another changeup, baffling Logan Morrison. We'll see what he follows up with. And Logan able to catch up to the two-seamer for a foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes. And it looks like Soroka wants to think about something else. And the pitch. And was he able to hold back? And the umpire says he was, so we have a 1 ball and 2 strikes. Logan's going to try and get everything he can out of his at-bats. That much you can tell you. And he fouls that one back. Should have let that one go. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss at a low curveball. Just wasn't meant to be as Morrison returns to the clubhouse.
Catcher, Francisco Cervelli.
And Cervelli swings and misses. Definitely swinging for the fences on that one. And this is a blooper. This looks like it might drop. A great play by the right field is what it's going to take, and that's what we're going to get. And with Arenado coming up to bat, we have a 1-1 ball game. Energy-wise, Kershaw looks good, but really it's going to be how efficient he is that will dictate whether or not this is the last inning for him in this ball game. And Arenado doing a good job of staying back for the off-speed stuff, but not able to catch up with that curveball for strike 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Count.
And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Kershaw continuing to mow down Marlins hitting as Yordan Alvarez comes up to bat. 1 out here in the 7th inning. The curveball outside for strike 1. Kershaw with the pitch. And a low slider. Alvarez able to lay off that one. Kershaw has not been using his curveball, his most dominant pitch an inning ago. A changeup outside for ball 2. Marlins pitching. Deep fly ball to left field. Upton in for the catch. Marlins pitching has been doing a tremendous job at getting in, giving the club a chance in the later innings in close ball games. We'll have to see how that goes today. And Kershaw's got to do everything he can to not get a full count here. And a swing and a miss is a slider. And that one's almost given a thought by Marwin, but holds back for a 2 balls and 1 strike count. Kershaw seeming to lose his control. 3 balls and a strike with 2 outs. And outside changeup freezes up Marwin. Can pretty much expect Marwin will be swinging here as an aggressive hitter. And fouls a slider back for another shot at it. Kershaw with the pitch. And bit of an adventure off the mound, but Kershaw able to field it cleanly for the 3rd out. So we got a 1-1 ball game here in the 8th inning. Clayton Kershaw looks like he gets the nod. Looks like he has a chance at a base hit here, but sort of surprised to see they're going to keep going with Kershaw. Otherwise, why let him hit? He's doing a good job. So, and this is possibly a base hit, but again, right to Soto. Anytime the ball hangs in the air, Soto's going to find it. Now we got Justin Upton.
Ball. Count 1-0.
So it looks like Marlins have a little faith in something could happen. Their closer's getting warmed up. Upton certainly able to make that happen. Takes a curveball for a ball. Ball two balls. No strikes. Takes a curveball to the outside. 3 balls. No strikes. And it takes a 2-seamer inside, so it's going to be in the hands of J.D. Martinez now, who's 1 for 3 on the night. Soroka getting tired. Not sure if that matters to manager Talavera. And J.D. with able to sneak one into the corner. This might be deep enough for a double and a runner to end up on third. So J.D. comes through here in the bottom of the 8th, in the top of the 8th, sorry. Now it's up to Vladimir Guerrero with 2 outs. See if what he's got to offer. And he takes an inside 4-seamer for ball number 1. And Guerrero wanted to make something out of nothing there. Fouls it back for strike 1. And a changeup inside. Guerrero showing good plate discipline. And this is not hard to lay off. So now we got a 3 balls and 1 strike count. They might be looking to get to Turner. Feel a lot better about that possibility. And that's exactly what they're doing. And Turner does not like being walked into being faced, and we'll have to see how he deals with that. He takes a strike 1. The Marlins feel like they like their chances with him better. And Turner, awful job at laying off of that. Would not be surprised if the Marlins try and go for it again, and they do. An excellent pitching saves the day for the Marlins as the bases get loaded. But the Marlins escape the 8th, allowing no runs. And this is a deep shot into the gap. It's going to take a lot for this to stay into a double. It could possibly has triple rain all over it. But Marlins have been gunned down one too many times on the base pass by these guys. So smartly, Kelly stays on second with no outs. Perfect situation here for the Marlins to finally get a run in. And they're going to have to do a better job at holding the lead, because quite possibly, once again, they could be 1 inning away from breaking out of this 8-game losing streak. 3 games lost to the Rangers, 3 games lost to the Reds, lost yesterday, and they're currently on a 7-game losing streak. And all to user teams. So C.J. Cron, yesterday's hero, coming up to bat. See if he can make something happen here. And he's a little bemused by a curveball. And a sneaky move. I don't think the Marlins even knew that the Reds didn't know they had someone. And the Marlins are just going to have to not be their own worst enemy. And these situations, often this year, they've overthought situations involved in a triple play yesterday.
3 balls, 1 strike.
That got them out of the inning.
That's outside. Ball 4.
So Kershaw having a lot of trouble here.
Center fielder number 8.
And
Half. Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Reds, number 83.
did he go? Umpire says he didn't. Two balls, no strikes. Lopez needs to just kind of stop dicking around and just pitch to this guy. This could be bad news, and it is. It's a fair ball, folks. This is not good for the Cincinnati Reds, who have now allowed the game to slip out of their hands,
Now batting,
as the Marlins have second and third with no outs. This is really the kind of inning they need right now, because the Reds have been all over them in the ninth. And the Reds playing in are able to hold the runners from scoring as Lindor lines out for out number 1. So, in all seriousness, if the Reds are able to just stop the bleeding here, they would, in theory, be in for giving themselves a chance, as they've just been mowing down Marlins bullpen.
Nope. Outside.
This is going to be caught by JD. He's got an arm. They're going to test him anyways. And for some reason, Morrison cuts off. That's just inexperience. That's just inexperience. I think you let that ball go. I think that there's a chance you get him at home. Logan Morrison doing more than he's asked to. And able to make a nice play here, but absolutely should have let that ball come in from JD. He could have had a play at the plate. So the Marlins are able to take a 3-1 lead here to the top of the ninth. And it just makes you absolutely sick to your stomach to think of how manager Talavera must be feeling right now, having been in this here spot quite often over the last 10 days. And, it's just going to have to break through and just focus on that first hitter, then on that second hitter, and then try and go for that 3 outs and give these fans a break. Any kind of a letdown here, any kind of a breakdown would just be a total heartbreaker. And we got a base hit, it looks like, into the gap. It's going to take a little bit of a run. But no, the center fielder, Ian Happ, for the Marlins, able to get that all-important first out.
Number 99, Logan Morrison.
So Logan Morrison now, see if he can have a repeat of yesterday's success. And he swings hard at an inside cutter. Fouls it out for out number 1. And this is going to be low. So 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm surprised they did not let Alonso come up to bat today. I think they've just seen enough out of him. And Logan Morrison able to get that single. That's what you need. You need someone on base. So Morrison's doing his part as the Reds get on board here with 1 out in the ninth. Next up is Francisco Cervelli. Absolutely, he can do something here, but the Marlins are going to turn 2 and get themselves that win that they've been seeking. And the Marlins are able to take one from the Reds for the first time this year. So that's 4 out of 5 for the Reds, but it doesn't matter tonight as the Florida Marlins are able to take the win. Mike Soroka, the winning pitcher, throwing 8 innings pitch with only 6 hits allowed, 1 earned run. Absolute gem in terms of managing himself out of trouble. Kershaw picks up his 6th loss of the season, giving up 3 earned runs. Star hitters for the Florida Marlins, Francisco Lindor 2 for 4 with an RBI. Carson Kelly with a very, very timely double late in the game. Ian Happ 1 for 3 with a double and also with an RBI. Justin Upton goes 2 for 3 with an RBI for the Cincinnati Reds. Gordon 1 for 4 with a run, a stolen base as well. And JD Martinez, again, a multi-hit game, 2 for 4 with a double. But sadly, not enough as Miami takes Game 2, 3-1 here in South Florida. This has been Alejandro Salas. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Red Baseball. And we shall be back with Game 3 of this 4-game series as soon as possible.